It's a pleasure to welcome Abigail Maines, CRO of machine learning security firm HiddenLayer. Abigail is an advocate of diversity in technology sales and does so through her initiative, Fierce. HiddenLayer's push to have a diverse workforce has been rewarded with incredible growth and customer satisfaction. I'm Oliver Legg, co-founder of Aspirant Search. Enjoy the show.
Well, absolute pleasure to have Abigail Maines, the CRO of seed stage AL security firm HiddenLayer. Pleasure to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Quick kind of introduction into how you got into security in the first place.
Sure.
And then what's your role at HiddenLayer?
Yeah, I would love to say it was some, wildly organized strategic planning that I pursued, but I didn't. I actually ended up in straight up cyber at Cylance back because Dell, who was our largest OEM customer, told Cylance they needed to hire me to ensure that partnership got off the ground. That's where I was very fortunate to meet Tito and Jim and Tanner, our co-founders at HiddenLayer. And from there, I went to Checkpoint, Cybereason, and now at HiddenLayer, always in a go-to-market sort of responsible role, whether it was Americas-wide, global, channel sales, or sort of on the business development front.
Awesome. Yeah, you've got some really strong names on the CV.
Met a lot of great people at all of those places.
Yeah, awesome. And so one of the things that really stands out about you, Abigail, is the diversity piece. Because I read a stat in prep for this episode that 28% of go-to-market leaders in tech are female.
Yeah, that's generous.
I do not believe that.
Yeah. Well, if it's cyber would be even lower. But maybe in tech because you get the bigs in there. So I'd say 20%.
Yeah. And from what we see with our client base and the people we speak to, you are the only female CRO that I'm aware of in our direct space. Yeah. So kind of talk me through the importance of diversity in tech sales, in particular, in cyber sales.
Sure. I think the thing I always tell people is you should ask your customers and partners why diversity is important to them, or ask them about an experience they've had when it was with somebody that didn't look exactly like everybody else. Because what you'll find is, amazing listening skills, amazing empathy for their use cases, their experience, and just in my opinion, a more holistic and authentic experience, which from a cyber perspective is hugely differentiating for an organization. And so I'm not advocating for women to be 90% of all the go-to-market leads, but I'm definitely advocating for our 50%. And so I think whenever anybody asks me why is it important, I always say ask a customer who has dealt with a woman or ask a partner because it'll just jump off the page. I think there's a lot. I'm very excited to be here today because I think there's a lot about representation in our space, and I'm proud to be one of the few women in this role in the space. And I'm hopeful that it'll encourage other folks. I've also founded an organization called Fierce, which stands for Females in Every Role Change Everything. That has nothing to do with seniority. That has everything to do with inclusivity, with empowerment, and basically ensuring that nobody has to make any of the mistakes that I've made over the last 25 years. They can just call me and I can tell them that's not a good idea. Here's why, to try to accelerate people's careers so that we can get to the equality. And it'll definitely, it will absolutely benefit really our main constituents, our customers, our employees, and our partners.
Yeah, love that. I think there's more like Fierce needed.
Yeah.
And so this isn't. I mean, this is more related to actually the technical practitioner roles. But one of the things we always get asked when hiring is, we want to increase our diversity.
Yeah.
And firms are just unwilling to then be flexible on certain things to increase their diversity.
Right.
And it's just it doesn't go anywhere.
Right.
So what can actually be done, and what the hiring, specifically hiring managers, what do they need to do or be flexible on to increase diversity?
I think they have to acknowledge that if they're being rigid on something specifically, I think they have to acknowledge the fact that will preclude a large segment of the population, and everybody had to do X role for the first time. So I think they have to acknowledge that, and if they really want to embrace diversity, if they really want to differentiate their company, they're going to have to let some of those that rigor go. I think that's I think it's also on candidates to raise their hand and acknowledge, hey, I don't have that particular use case on my resume or on my CV, but here's what I have done, and here's the path that I'm going to take in order to ensure that isn't something that would hinder me in my performance. So I think there's a lot of direct authenticity that needs to be shared by both sides when that's the case. And I think we just have to accept that the fact that you're not going to have, there's a little bit of a chicken and the egg. You're not going to have a source of wildly qualified female or underrepresented groups in tech for every role if we don't start hiring into those roles. So at HiddenLayer, we work really hard at having diverse hiring practices. We absolutely encourage hiring diverse candidates right out of school. And we love to invest in people. We love to, Tito leads from the front on this, just to invest in our people so that they will never run into well, you haven't done X, Y, or Z. But that is true today. I absolutely see that today. I understand where that's coming from. And I understand seed companies, Series A companies, we can't make mistakes on hiring. It's a very important decision, every hire we make. But I think that they can be made even when you don't have, 100% of the qualifications and be very successful.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
We just need more people.
That's the exciting part.
More people to agree. And where you and Tito and the rest of the leadership at Fierce have, at HiddenLayer have a real desire to build a diverse team. What benefits are you then seeing of that, kind of culturally and performance-wise? What is that diverse team actually doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think that lots of things. One, it really reduces the navel gazing. Navel gazing is just a term I use when you have a lot of people from similar backgrounds, similar organizations, similar level of education, thinking about a problem. Our customers don't think about the problem like we do. You have to have empathy for whom you are selling to, and for us, that's security practitioners as well as data science practitioners. And so having diverse candidates helps us question our assumptions, helps us make our user experience better, helps our marketing communications be more differentiated versus all of the other 4,000 cyber companies. So our VP of marketing, who I recently hired, Kristen Tarlecki, she is not from this space. We had a ton of candidates that were in the space that wanted that role, and we consciously made a decision that we wanted a voice for HiddenLayer that was not going to sound just like all the other companies. And so we're super excited that she joined us. But really, it's just every decision gets better when you have more perspectives.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Not enough firms have that mindset.
Yeah.
And I mean, it clearly shows in what HiddenLayer have achieved in the last 18 months since you guys were founded.
I think last year this is BlackHat 23. BlackHat 22 was when we came out of stealth.
Yeah, and
so 1 year.
It's been incredible. I mean, winner of the RSA Innovation Sandbox 2023, doubled in size to 50 heads literally in the last month or two, and then big plans moving forward. So yeah, what should people be kind of excited about in terms of when you're growing your go-to-market team? Why should top go-to-market candidates be interested and excited about not just working for you, but working at HiddenLayer in your space?
I think in my organization specifically, what's refreshing for folks that have been in the space for a while or been in sales for a while is there is no silos in my organization. So there is not a marketing generated lead, sales generated lead, channel generated lead. I don't really care. I want to know how many leads and how many are we closing, and are we achieving our overall numbers? Because under no circumstances would I lead an organization where one organization raises their hand and says, I'm doing a great job, I hit all my numbers, and then the company didn't deliver on their number. That makes no sense to me, but I see it a lot. I see it a lot in SaaS-based companies. So tremendous sort of alignment in our go-to-market is number one. Number two, from the HiddenLayer perspective, we're creating a category which is wildly exciting. I really believe, and I've shared this with colleagues, I believe that some of my pain and suffering of my career was to put me in this position now, because I feel very fortunate to be a part of the HiddenLayer team. And like everybody in this space, after a couple of decades, you don't always feel that way in your career. So creating a category is very exciting. It's great to talk to analysts about, what they see and what we're seeing. It's great to be able to work on code that we're literally developing for a customer that we're going to deliver tomorrow. I'm really proud of the HiddenLayer organization, because one of the things that's most important to me is speed. And and it sounds like such a cliche, but it is a really meaningful metric, especially for a seed funded company. We are always, what I say is, when we take the ball, we got to give the ball back right away. That means no customer is going to be waiting on us. Like if they need something from us, then we have to turn it around. And the whole org runs that way. And that really also contributes to the excitement. And that's true from our research organization to our operations organization. Like that's not just go to market. That's just how HiddenLayer operates. And in fact, we've heard from 3 or 4, Fortune 50 companies tell us that they've never seen anybody move faster than us. And we're really proud of that.
And it's proven in literally what you've done in 18 months. So
sure, exactly.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Abigail.
Of course, thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, really excited to see what the rest of H2 and 2024 holds.
Thank you very much.
We hope you've enjoyed this latest episode of CyberBytes, the podcast. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and tell your friends. If you want to explore being a guest or how Aspiron Search can help you build high-performing security and go-to-market teams, then get in touch on LinkedIn or info@aspironsearch.com.